Adam here with Brooksaw Antiques. Today we have this 1966 Hermes 3000 vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Made in Switzerland, and in my opinion, the best typewriter of all time. Also known as the Bentley of typewriters. Up top is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight. I'm going to line that up with the edge of the platen, which is the main roller that feeds the paper. And this is the paper support arm that flips up from the back. And this is the paper bale that sits on top. It's got two adjustable rollers and a scale, and it shows the margins in red. To set the margins, it has lighting margins, so right now they're pretty close to the edge, but if you wanted it closer to the middle, you just put the cursor where you want it and just flip this silver switch here, and it sends the margin to that spot that you're at. If you want it closer to the edge, you just hold the lighting margin and push the carriage to where you want it, which I want it right there. I'm going to let it go. So now the margin's on that spot. Same concept with the right margin. Say I wanted it right there, which is where it's at in the middle. Actually, I want it on the edge, so I'm going to hold the silver switch here and just push the carriage release at the same time. Push it where I want it, which is right on the edge. Let it go, and that's where the margin is. If you want it closer to the middle, you put the cursor where you want it, and then just flip that, and it sends the margin to that spot. If you have used magic margins on Royal typewriters, then you'll already know how to use this, but this is actually pretty unique as far as typewriters go and set margins. We're going to set the color. If you have it all the way down, it prints no ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. When you have it on the blue, it prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. When you have it on, this is a yellow indicator usually. This is kind of faded on this one, but it prints right down the middle. So if you have a solid black ribbon, you can use it 3 times by using red, yellow, or blue. Most typewriters are just red or blue. And when you have it all the way on the top, it prints the bottom portion of the ribbon, which is red. So we're going to move that down to the blue indicator, which prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. Hit this line space, get you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 1.5, or 2 spaces. Right now we have it on single, but if you want 1.5, just flip that switch forward 1 notch. Skips 1.5, 1 more, it skips 2. We're going to keep that on 1 for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line by switching the switch up to the top. Beautiful. It feels euphoric typing on these. I've had a bunch of these since I've been in the business, and every single time it's like the first time typing on these. Perfect print too. It's just all around the best of all time. As far as looks goes, it's sexy. Print's perfect, and the feel is perfect. It's smooth and powerful and quiet. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side here. You flip it forward and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easier or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. I'm going to flip this down for now. Got a shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the top left. Very nice. Tabs on the top here. Right now we have tabs set on 10 space intervals. So I'm just going to go through. Actually, I'm going to clear all of them by hitting the all clear button. So now we shouldn't have any. There's really nice drag on this. But I always like to set a tab somewhere in the middle on all my typewriters, so that way when the tab button gets hit, it doesn't go slamming all the way to the end, causing wear and tear on your typewriter. And you can set as many tabs as you want on this model. Margin really, if you want to just clear a specific one though, you just go to the tab clear right there. And now that clears that one tab specifically, if you don't want to clear all. And margin release on the right of those. When you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that blocks you from printing. If you want to get past that, hit that margin release button. It does allow you to go all the way to the end. And I'm going to put the color back to black. Backspace. Very nice. And this is your touch control. The higher up you go, the more tension there is when you hit the keys. You do have to hit them a little harder for them to print, but they respond faster. So you just want to play with that to see which your preferences with the touch control. This pops off from the back like that, and it hooks in from the front. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left. so it's pulling clockwise to the right. If you want to switch that direction, you just it will do it on its own when the eyelet pulls through here. It pulls this ribbon guide here to a different direction. So if you want it to go on the opposite direction manually, you just flip this ribbon guide. It'll pull counterclockwise to the left. Flip it back, it pulls clockwise to the right. We're at the end of the margin there, so it's not advancing the carriage. This hooks in from the front like this first, and then pops down in the back. And that's it with the keyboard. On the right side of the carriage, and I already showed you the margin, the lightning margins. This is the carriage release. This is your carriage lock. You just flip it down and move it to the middle, and it locks the carriage in the middle. To unlock it, you push it down and move it to the right, and that's to protect the escapement. When it's in the case, it just has a top cover lid, all metal, comes with a key and a manual and a brush. On the left side of the carriage release, and the very smooth, just it feels like a luxury typewriter. And this is the margin, and this is a 3D printed knob that I created myself. I designed and 3D printed and found the exact paint that matches, which is very, very hard to do. This paint, you can't find this paint match anywhere. There's nothing else that has that same exact color. Also, I 3D printed the paper bell rollers. Those are available in my shop, as well as the knobs. Both knobs and the feet are 3D printed too. So in order to stay alive in this business, if you're a typewriter mechanic, you got to be able to make your own parts because they don't make them anymore. And you got to make them good, especially when it comes to the Bentley of typewriters. They got to be perfect. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.